I used to think that there was two types of people in the world. There was clean people and messy people, and you were born one or the other, and then that's just how it is. But I've been so happy to learn that if you are a naturally messy person, there really is a secret to becoming a clean person. And for our friends that are naturally clean, but you've felt like you can't really stay up on your house anymore, I think I know the reason for that too. So today, here is the secret to always having a clean house. Well, hi, I'm Dawn from The Minimal Mom, and we've been minimalists for 9 years now. We got rid of 85% of our stuff. We have not looked back. I don't miss any of it. I don't want any of it back. And that is a big reason why I can say I know the secret to a clean house, because I believe that the secret to a clean house is that you have to enjoy cleaning. You have to find some kind of a satisfaction and fulfillment in cleaning to be willing to do it day in and day out. Because let's face it, the nature of cleaning is so repetitive. Like you're just washing the same dishes and the same clothes and the same counter and the same mirror over and over and over again. I mean, this could actually be a recipe for insanity if you do not enjoy it. So if the secret to a clean house is enjoying cleaning, how do we get to the point where we enjoy cleaning? That comes from having hyper low inventory. And so what I have found over the years, since we have simplified our home to the point that we call ourselves minimalist, is that by having hyper low inventory in our home, I actually really like cleaning to the point where recently I even went to my parents' house, and on a Saturday afternoon, I cleaned their oven for fun because I just really wanted to see if I could get it totally clean or not, right? I really enjoy cleaning now. And so there is hope for those of us who have been naturally messy people or who have never been able to keep our house clean, that if you also would be willing to highly reduce the inventory in your home, that you also can get to a point where you enjoy cleaning. Our brains are actually wired to enjoy it. I'll talk about that in a minute. But then for our friends on the other side, if you would have already naturally put yourself into the category that like, yeah, I'm just a naturally clean person and I do like it, but you've also found yourself kind of overwhelmed and not able to stay up on your house as easily as maybe you have been in the past, well, that's probably also because the inventory has creeped up in your home. So for you as well, the solution is the same, that we have to continue to reduce the inventory. So reducing inventory, what does that mean? Decluttering, simplifying, moving stuff out of our house. Okay, so let's work alongside each other. Why don't you, if you're wanting to, you can work on cleaning or tidying or decluttering while we visit some more, because I think that is the key to it, is highly reducing the inventory so we enjoy cleaning. But I think there's some other things that we can do as well to help our mindset shift so that cleaning doesn't seem so overwhelming. So again, even if we're here in the kitchen, if I have a lot of extra clutter on the counters, I mean, kitchens, my goodness, we can really accumulate clutter in here quickly, right? But all of a sudden now, I have to put stuff away and put lots of stuff away, and I have random piles of stuff sitting out before I can actually even clean. And I'm sure you've noticed that if we have piles of stuff like papers and just random stuff that we don't know what to do with, that makes it harder to clean this surface, but also less gratifying. So here's where I think our brains are actually working for us in this situation. When we clean and we fully complete it, when we look back over it, and everything is in its place and it's clean and everything is put away, that gives us a dopamine release. Now, dopamine's kind of the big player when it comes to feeling good about things that we accomplish. There's other things at play too, but that's kind of the big one. It's the same thing we get though from social media and other things, right? So that's why most days we would rather just sit on Instagram than actually clean our kitchen, right? It all makes sense. Like there's nothing wrong with you if you're not like, oh yay, I want to get up and clean the kitchen, right? But we have to use this to our advantage. So the problem is if I have random piles of stuff sitting on the counter, I might move the pile to clean the counter, but then I put it back because I don't know, it's random stuff and I don't know what to do with it and it just is always there. I don't get that same level of satisfaction. I don't get that same dopamine release because the job is not totally done. And an interesting podcast that I was listening to recently that says an incomplete task actually leaves, they called it brain residue. So if we start something but don't finish it, our brain doesn't like that. And it called it brain residue. Like we have this residue of incomplete tasks, unfinished projects in our brain. And so again, we are not getting that satisfaction from cleaning. So this is where highly simplifying and decluttering, so that there's not so much stuff on our flat surfaces or in our spaces, so that when we do clean, it feels complete. That is such a great reward to our brain, but again, also makes it so we enjoy cleaning, which again is very possible, right? We can learn this skill. Okay, hold on one second. Today's video is sponsored by Helix, and their Black Friday sale is going on now. And Helix is offering our viewers an exclusive discount this month. Visit helixsleep.com/minimalmom to get 27% off your mattress plus 2 free pillows and receive a free bedding bundle with your Luxe or Elite order. And we've been talking about Helix for years. We upgraded our mattress over 3 years ago, and we love it so much. We get a great night's sleep every single night and never wake up sore or tired or crabby. We get to start the day well rested. Now, every body's different, and Helix knows that. So they came up with the Helix Sleep Quiz. You just go online and take their sleep quiz, and if you have a partner, have them take it with you too. And they're just gonna ask you a few questions, like what sleep position do you normally sleep in? What firmness do you prefer? And do you ever wake up with back pain? Or do you ever get a little overheated when you're sleeping? Now Helix has their Glaciotex cooling cover that is built right into the mattress. So Tom and I are side and stomach sleepers, and we prefer our mattress just a little bit more on the firm side. So we were matched with the Helix Dusk Luxe. So once you're paired with your perfect mattress, then it comes conveniently rolled up in a box and shipped right to your door. Shipping is free in the US, and you're gonna bring it in, you're gonna let your mattress take shape, and then you get the Helix Sleep Guarantee. 100 nights to sleep on your mattress, test it out, and make sure that it's just the right fit for you. And if not, don't worry, Helix will take care of exchanging it for you. And then beyond that, you also get a 10-year warranty. And did you know, the Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections, the Helix Plus, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers, and the Helix Kids mattresses, designed for growing bodies and endorsed by child sleep and medical experts. So again, right now is the perfect time for you to upgrade your mattress as well. Just visit helixsleep.com/minimalmom to save 27% right now during the Black Friday sale. You're gonna get those 2 free pillows and the free bedding bundle with your Luxe or Elite order as well. Okay, so we're all gonna get a great night's sleep, and then we're gonna have lots of energy to keep our house clean. All right, next is to set the mood in the way that works well for you. So light a candle. Marie Kondo will say to open the windows and, what does she call it? Change the air, I think, by letting in some fresh air. Obviously, it depends on the climate where you're at. I like to put on upbeat music, especially if I'm getting the kids involved, and we can talk about getting kids involved too. But I know some like to listen to podcasts while they're cleaning. I've tried that. I don't know. Maybe I'm not listening to the right podcast. I feel like I get distracted really easy, where I feel like upbeat music like energizes me. It keeps me like moving at a faster pace, where sometimes I start to lollygag if I'm listening to something else. I also think it's fun to put on Clean With Me videos. So, Clean With Me videos are like the original body doubling, right? So to put something on like that, so you feel like you're working alongside someone else. But really it's about figuring out what inspires and motivates you. And some are also inspired by setting a timer. My mom is the queen of the timer. I swear every time we go to her house, there's a timer going off for something. So if you're feeling low energy, low motivation, like you really just don't want to, there is something about saying 5 minutes matters. I'm just gonna set the timer for 5 minutes and get done what I can get done. That really does feel good. And sometimes we decide to keep going. Sometimes we don't, but no matter what, the space is better even if we only worked for 5 minutes. Isn't it amazing? I'm sure you've experienced this too, how much we can actually get done in 5 concentrated minutes. Like if you're only working for 5 minutes, you move pretty quickly and you get a lot done. And so never underestimate, no matter how you're feeling, the power of setting the timer for 5 minutes. Another thing that I think people that are more naturally clean and tidy know is how to get quick wins and what makes the biggest impact. So you definitely want to start with the floor first. So if you have any kind of clutter or random things laying around on the floor, you always want to start with picking those up first. So things on the floor are very unsettling to our brain. Our brain perceives them as a threat, but we don't actually realize that. It just feels like unsettling or causes a little bit of like anxiousness in us, but we don't know where that's coming from. Take a look at things that are on the floor. I think also people that are more naturally clean, they don't store stuff on the floor. So sometimes, you know, we go to Costco or the bulk stores and we have overflow, or we have pet food or different things, and it's kind of like, well, it just sits on the floor next to the cabinet. But again, that makes it harder to clean, and it tells our brain that, well, nothing's complete here, right? Like we were talking about in the beginning. So I would challenge you to always start with the floor first when you're cleaning, and also not to store anything on the floor. We want to make it so it's very easy to sweep and mop, and also so that these tasks feel complete. From the floor, then we go up to flat surfaces. Now, remember the power of tidying. So even if you have things scattered all over your flat surface, if you would just group them together, that is going to feel better to your brain. So we've talked about this before, but if you have 12 things scattered across the counter, your brain sees that as 12 items. But if you group them all together, then your brain sees that as one. And so even if you are short on time, but you want to mentally make a difference, make your space feel not quite so messy, then work on grouping things together. Of course, if there's clear things that are garbage or that you can put away quickly, do that, right? But then otherwise, straighten stuff up, tidy it, group it together. And even just that action is going to feel so much better to your brain. So if you're short on time, energy, motivation, look for the big wins. And usually that comes from clearing up the floor and also your flat surfaces. Yes, but how do we get our kids involved? Most of us want to have our kids help. We want them to learn how to clean, be responsible, all those things. But how do we get them involved? It's really simple. You set the timer for 5 minutes. And you tell everyone we are all going to work together for 5 minutes. And you understand that in the beginning, it is going to feel like such a waste of time. You're going to be like, I could have just worked for 5 minutes and got so much more done than trying to, manage the circus that is my kids. They're going to ask to go to the bathroom. They're going to go up to their bedroom to put something away and disappear and never come back. But if you will stick with this, over time, you will get to the point where all of you working together for 5 minutes actually makes a really big difference in your home. That's the point we're at. But we've been practicing this for years now. But here's what's cool. Between myself and the kids, if all 5 of us are working for 5 minutes, when the timer goes off, that's 25 minutes of work that has been done. Now, some kids are more effective than others, so it might be like 21 minutes. But they're learning the skills, we're making an impact. But the important thing is, like Dana from A Slob Comes Clean will say, when the timer goes off, we're done. As long as everyone was working during that time, you want to keep your commitment that 5 minutes really does mean 5 minutes. But what they're going to see over time is that you all together really can accomplish a lot in 5 minutes, even if your kids are very little. But if you will work at this, practice it every single day, as they continue to grow and get older, you're going to find that this will maintain your home, especially as you are reducing the inventory. And that's the other thing that makes me not feel guilty about involving my kids anymore, is because we have reduced the inventory in our home so much. It is not hard to keep our house clean. It's not hard for them to pick up things, to help clean up things. And so in the past, when they were little, they were drowning in toys and clothes and all the things. I felt really bad asking them to pick stuff up because I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed by this mess. Of course, they're overwhelmed by it. But again, as we've highly reduced the inventory, now I don't feel bad at all having our kids help. It's easy for them to get involved. They feel a sense of accomplishment. It's actually very important for kids to contribute to your household, but it doesn't feel as hard for me. So we're all winning. We're getting the house pulled back together. I don't feel like a martyr. That's nice too, right? And so it gets easier and easier the more that you practice it. Okay, another tip for actually enjoying cleaning so that we do it more frequently and always have a clean house is to figure out your favorite cleaning products. And so I've talked about these all the time. To the point where you're all like, Dawn, do you get a cut from Dawn Power Wash that you're like talking about it all the time, right? I don't. Okay. But it's figuring out the tools that work for you and also help you to enjoy cleaning. You could say that both of these, the Scrub Daddy and the Dawn Power Wash, are gimmicky. They're expensive. Why are Scrub Daddy sponges so expensive? I don't know. They don't give this away either, right? You could be like, you don't need it. There's other things that you could use. Like you can get sponges from the dollar store that work just as well. But there's something about the smiley face on here that makes me happy. I do think they work well. I like the wide weave, and you can throw them in the dishwasher, and I like the little holder for it, whatever. And this, I mean, I've shown all the number of places that I use this. So I think it's a very multi-purpose, but there's other degreasers and things that work pretty well too. But figure out the cleaning tools that you really enjoy and work well for you and work well for your type of grime. I'm also learning that, different households, we do different styles of cooking. We do different styles of living. We live on a farm. Our house is so dirty all the time. Like when we mop the floor, you're just like, gross, like what happened, right? And I would put actually my O-Cedar mop too into my arsenal of things that I really enjoy. So know the things you love. So these things, my O-Cedar mop, that blue duster thing, I don't know, that thing makes my heart happy. I can't always explain why. But caveat, don't acquire too many, right? Because when we have an overwhelming amount of cleaning products, then we get overwhelmed by it and we don't use them. I love what Cass from Clutterbug will say. She's like, often the people with the most cleaning products have the dirtiest homes. Permission to let go of the stuff that just isn't working for you and your space and your household and the type of grime that you create in your house. Invest in your favorites. But again, even though I might spend a little bit more money on these overall, I'm not spending near as much on cleaning products as I used to in the past when I was trying to find the miracle, things in every category, which actually, okay, let's talk a little bit about miracle products, shall we? So I think there's two other things too that naturally clean people know that the rest of us can learn too. And that's that the magic is in the motion, not the potion, and that a home that is consistently cleaned is so much easier to keep clean and to clean. So there are very few miracle products out there. Even when I do a cleaning video or I test new products, I try to be very careful to not imply that anything is a miracle product. Even the Dawn Power Wash, it works well on a lot of things, but again, it's not cleaning it for you, and it's certainly not a miracle product. So I like it, it's not a miracle product. There are some cleaners out there that work better than others. In the oven cleaning, I use the Easy Off. That actually worked really well. So there's something to be said about having the right tool or chemical or cleaner for the job. But many of us, the reason we have accumulated so many cleaners is because we really think it is going to be a miracle cleaner, that I am going to spray it on, wipe it off, and everything is going to be great again. And so what I want to do is give you permission to let go of any cleaners that have not worked for you in the past, because if they didn't work in the past, they're not going to magically start working for you in the future. But the main reason is that we want to keep cleaning a positive experience. Again, if we're going to enjoy it and keep our house clean all the time, then we can't have anything mocking us in our house. And so if you open your cleaning cupboard or cabinet and there's an array of cleaners that you bought and you spent money on and they didn't work, then that's sending you negative messages, whether you're consciously interpreting them or not. So permission to let go of those things. And I think that is something that naturally clean people do. I think you're a little easier on yourself and you don't think there's something wrong with you if the cleaner didn't work. You're like, that cleaner just didn't work for the type of grime, again, that I have. Where the rest of us who are messy, we're like, there's clearly something wrong with me because I got the scrubbing bubbles and they didn't really work. And the Instagram influencer made it look so easy. And so what's wrong with me? Probably nothing is wrong with you at all. It's just not every cleaner is actually the miracle product that it's sold to us to be. So the magic is in the motion, using the cleaners that we have and not in the potion. Now, the other thing is that it is so much easier to keep a house clean that is clean, right? So if you clean your shower every couple weeks, it's way easier than that thing I would always do where I waited for like a year or till we were moving out of the rental, right? And then cleaning it. That brings back negative memories. Once we get our house back to square one, we have everything descaled and degrimed and the oven cleaned and all of this stuff. It's so much easier to keep it clean as we're maintaining it. So if your house feels very hard to clean right now, again, I want to encourage you, keep reducing the inventories because that's going to make it easier to clean. but it's gonna probably be a little bit more hard work in the beginning as we get it back to square one. But once you get there, you get it back like to kind of the base level of clean and you have low inventory. I would say it takes what, a quarter of the time to clean it? I mean, our house takes hardly any time at all to clean because I do it so repetitively now because we don't have so much inventory and I kind of like it. So I'm sorry if your house feels really hard right now, and even the thought of like getting to a point where it's easy to clean and you enjoy it and that's what you do for fun on a Saturday, you're like, you're so ridiculous, Dawn. I understand because I have been there, so I fully get that, but keep reducing inventory, keep doing the deep cleaning to get it back to square one, and I promise you too will get to a point where it really doesn't feel that hard to keep your house clean. And if I can be real honest, I know some people will say too, like, well, think of it like it's a blessing, like you're blessing your family when you clean your house, and it gives you an opportunity to be so thankful for everything that you have, and so express gratitude as you're cleaning up. That's never actually worked for me. I've never, like in the past at least, when our house was still had a lot of inventory, I was never like, oh, I'm so grateful for this mess and I'm so blessed. Like, was it like too blessed to be stressed or whatever? Like, no, that is not at all how I felt. But also the signs that would say good moms have dirty floors and piles of laundry and messy kitchens or whatever, that also didn't resonate with me because I was like, well, if that's true, why does my house cause me so much stress and anxiety? Why does it not feel right? And what I've found is that as we have got to the point where, again, we call ourselves minimalist now, which just means we live with just the stuff we're using and nothing else really. This is actually what feels natural to me. And I don't even have to like play mind games of like, you know, think of it as blessing your family. I actually just naturally do feel gratitude for what we have as I'm cleaning. But again, I think that comes because I'm managing the right amount of inventory. As human beings, we were not meant to be stuff keepers. This is not our purpose in life, to organize stuff and to put it away and try and, you know, keep everything together. That's not what our purpose is, and it's not how our brains are wired, and it's just not what any of us are here for. So I'm trying to think, like, what would my sign at Hobby Lobby say? I don't know. I feel like I should have something right now. There probably is a sign there. Let me know. What should the sign say, right? If we were to have our own line at Hobby Lobby. Like, simple really is the best. And I said this in the beginning, but we don't miss any of our stuff. I don't want any of it back. And this is what feels natural, maintaining very low inventory. I would love to know, like in the comments, have you gotten to a place like that? Or are you a naturally clean person, but you feel like your inventory has gotten out of control, so it makes cleaning less enjoyable? Are you a messy person who feels hopeless, or who has achieved this in your house too? If you would be willing to share your experience down below, it's so validating to everyone else, because I know I'm not alone in this, to be able to go from a messy person to someone who really does enjoy cleaning, who it's not hard to keep our house clean, and who does actually feel a lot of gratitude now for the things that we have. I will put a link to a playlist below with all of our Clean With Me videos, where I do share a lot of my favorite cleaning products. We test different things together, different cleaning tips and hacks that I have. So I'll put that here as well. But thank you for hanging out with me today. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'm always so grateful for that as well. But I love you. I hope you have a really good day, and I'll see you again soon.